So, I was looking for a relaxing game, and it's hard to know exactly what makes a game relaxing. I've played a lot of different types of games. Some I found relaxing that I didn't think so. Some I didn't find relaxing, even though it was clearly the developer's intention to make it a chill game. Um, this one is I think intended to be relaxing, and it's surprisingly relaxing. It's a sort of a oh, what's the word? A progression game where you progress some things and move them forwards. Let's take a look at the page and see how they describe it. They say it was created solo in 4 days, and it was submission to Jame Gam. Okay, Jame Gam number 47. Um, it was a minimalist ecosystem management game where you restore a barren land using nature itself, upgrade soil, grow plants, and manage resources while using an eco-printing machine to sustain your expansion. Balance biodiversity and economy to thrive. All audio sourced from Pixabay. I'm not really sure how that works with copyright, so I have muted the tab just in case. But yeah, there's sort of gentle guitar music and the beeps of the buttons being pressed. More information. It says it's relaxing, economy management, simulation / strategy genre, which I would agree with. It's an HTML5 game, so just click the buttons, just make sure it's still working. So if we hit play, this is our game. On the left you have the resources you're collecting, and here we have 3 machines: an ink making machine, a paper making machine, and a money printer, which are the eco machines that were supposedly running to help rebuild the ecology. We're just printing money, which is fine. I think they're supposed to be special eco dollars. I don't know, they just look like the euro symbol to me. Anyway, and these are the resources we have collected for the printer, I guess, that the printer then uses. I'm not too sure what the different colors mean, but we'll come on to those. This is our money, and it takes 150 euros to enlarge the map. And there's a little sort of tutorial here to tell us what is going on. Can we maximize this? Hopefully this is still recording. Right, so what we have to do is click on a tile, as the instructions tell us, and we buy foliage. And foliage is the first one. It costs us 2 euros. And you can see it also affects adjacents. It increases their performance and produces 1 leaf each second, which is what we use to make paper. So we buy that, and we are now producing one leaf, which is letting our paper factory run a little bit. But it's not very fast. We're still getting a lot of excess because we're out printing our production. However, we also need ink for our ink factory, because we are, while producing paper, we're not producing any inks for our money printer. So we pick an adjacent tile and we buy the yellow ink. And as you see here, it produces 1 ink each second, and it multiplies by 4 an adjacent foliage tile, which is fortunate for us because that was the first thing we bought. So we buy that, and all of a sudden this is now producing 4, so we are now maxing out the paper factory, and we are getting 2 inks from there because these two are synergizing with each other. They're boosting each other, which is something that actually happens in nature. You can plant certain plants close to each other, and they can help nutritionize each other, protect each other, ward off the predators of certain kinds and bugs and pests and things like that. So a well-organized garden can in fact be a very cross-referential machine, which I find absolutely fascinating. Okay, so what it's telling us to do here is to actually plant a second yellow flower, which we can do on the other side. So we can double whammy our foliage here. And as you can see, we are now already starting to make some money as paper and ink comes through to our printing machine here, but not very much. So let's see if we can speed that up a bit. So let's buy a second yellow flower, and suddenly this is now 16 because it's making it 4, and then 4 4s are 16, and this is boosting each of those two by 2. So yeah, we are doing really well here. Unfortunately, what I don't know yet is if it works across at an angle, but let's find out, because now it's saying we have a different kind of resource that affects the plants around it, but doesn't produce anything itself. In this case, the beehive. So if we buy and place a beehive, you can see it affects yellow flowers, multiplying them by 4. We buy one, but it hasn't actually done anything. So I think it is just adjacent. Can we actually? No, we can't. Whoop. We can't actually sell it or anything like that, which is annoying. So that's a scrap. Let's try to build one here. And suddenly we're doing +8. And if we buy another one here, +8. Unfortunately, we can't undo the one that we purchased. There's no delete button, is there? No. Anyway, so now we are powering out our resources. As you can see, they are growing fast, and our machines are simply not keeping up. Fortunately, what we can do is click on the machine itself and update the process here. Oh no, this is the ink factory, sorry, never mind. We want the paper factory, and it can unlock a second recipe, which is using 40 to make 5 sheets, which I think is a better process, I guess. Not really. 40 should make 10 sheets, surely. But it does it faster, I suppose. Anyway, we have activated it, and it is now hopefully producing paper faster. I don't know. Weird. What we can actually do is also boost speed of the factory. So if we bump that up, it should now produce ink just a little bit quicker. Really, I'm not sure about the paper factory here, but we'll come back and have a look at that in a moment. This I found very interesting, is we can now start changing the terrain. So if we buy some sand and put it underneath our foliage, it should produce it. Wow, we're now up to 48. Look at that go. We'll speed up our paper factory a bit. Now we want to get to 150 eco dollars. What I did also notice is that we spent, I think, 10 euro dollars to put that to sand. If we do another one, it is now 20. And if we do another one, can I get to that one? It is now 40. So effects like that go up significantly in money. I mean, now we are already producing stuff here. Can we speed this up a bit? We're already smashing that out. I mean, look at how many natural resources we've stacked up here. Can we speed you up a bit? We do want to get to the red inks, but we'll get to that in a moment. There, now our money is rolling in. let's get up to 150 and see what that brings us. I'm worried that we've screwed up there. There is no delete button. So, I mean, Dev, if you're watching, can we undo something, like regain sort of half the resources or something like that? That would be nice. Am I missing something anyway? I don't think so. Anyway, so now we are churning the money out, and while I don't particularly approve of a drive to just make reams more money, we are returning to the world in that we are improving the environment, symbolically, obviously, as this isn't real, it is a game. Wow, are we smashing out the ink now? Fortunately, there's no storage limit here, as far as I can tell. We have a absolutely massive warehouse somewhere, I can only imagine. I want to get to 150 and see if our tutorial gives us any more information. Expand the map, which made sense. So enlarge the map. Now we need 1,500 for the next jump. So according to the tutorial, those are all the mechanics, and we are now left to our own devices. What I would like to do is try and make some red ink. So if we look here, what makes red ink? What are you? Bushes do that. There we go, here's our red ink. Which bushes do a little bit better, but let's buy that. And let's give you some sand. But we don't have anything that knows how to use the red ink, I imagine. So, if we unlock this, we're still not doing anything. How do we use the red ink? Do we need the paper factory to know how to use it? No, that's just doing paper. Do we need you to know how to use it? Possibly, but it isn't coming through as yet. Why are you not activated? Ah, you stop using the yellow. You can only do one or the other, which is not ideal because okay, so we unlock and then activate. You are significantly running out, so we need to make more of that. So what if we buy a bush, buy another bush, there we go. Now we are smashing that out. Bush, what do you need? You just speed things up around you, right? What do you? Right, so you do boost those. You boost all the things around you. Good, come on, you just help the trees. So if you get to the point where you're buying mushrooms, you actually boost everything and you sterilize adjacent tiles. That's interesting. I'm concerned that it says actual equals 1. Very strange. Oh, enriched it is super expensive there, but that's where we want to go to. Alright, well, I mean, you know, we're doing stuff, we're working. What are we running short of? Paper. So if we give you some sand. Can't give you. How are we doing now? Oh, we're still getting X's there. But our red ink is high, so yeah, paper is definitely the lad that is not doing so well. Anyway, thus I believe you have seen the core mechanisms here, and there are still plenty of puzzles to solve. And I love the hidden idea of a self-contained system that is slowly converting the world into life rather than, you know, whatever these sterile tiles are supposed to be. It's an interesting idea, and one that I think needs to be explored in real life as well as here in the in-game world. It's you know, our planet is not as healthy as it should be, and we see that, and I guess that's what is inspiring games like this. So yeah, I suggest, with or without any kind of moral opinions, I do heartily recommend coming to have a look at the game, because it is quite a fun little puzzle. See how your little ecology is planned to grow and expand. Yeah, how much eco dollars you can make. There will be, of course, a link in the description as per standard practice. And I do also recommend leaving me a like if you like my videos, because that tells me that you like the videos. And drop me a subscribe if you want to see more Itchio games reviewed or gameplay on other non-Itchio games. Yeah, and ring that subscription bell, because YouTube is weird and doesn't really pay attention to it anyway, other than not subscribing the videos if you don't ring it, other than sometimes. I don't understand how YouTube works. Yeah, and leave me some comments. I think that's the most useful thing, is because I can hear from you guys, hear what you want to see, hear how your day is going, hear what you think about games in general and ecology in general. You know, lay it on me. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.